So our focus is just continue to focus on the things that we've been doing, which is investing in areas that support priority national defense missions where funding is assured for the long term.
Joining me today is Steve Budorick, President and CEO of COPT Defense Properties. So Steve, can you point to an aspect of your latest earnings report that you feel especially highlights COPT Defense's broader strategy?
Our strategy is to focus on investing in assets that serve national defense missions, either with the U.S. government or defense contractors. And so in our most recent earnings reports, many of the metrics really reflect on the strength of the strategy, but in particular, look at our occupancy. For an office company, we're almost 95% leased across the portfolio, and our defense's portfolio is almost 97% leased. Our retention in the quarter was 78%, which is almost twice what an office company would expect on retention. And at the same time, we're still leasing vacant space. So we delivered 160,000 square feet of vacancy leasing in the quarter, which was about 60% more than our notional run rate for the year. So all those metrics really speak to, and others that I didn't go into, continued strength in the underlying industry that we serve, which manifests itself in increased opportunity in our portfolio.
And is there a common theme or question that investors are raising, and how are you responding?
So right now, I would say the most common theme has to do with valuation. With the strength of the business we've been able to demonstrate over the last 5 years, since 2019, we've compounded at almost 5% growth rate steadily over that period of time. We've delivered new development, value-creating opportunities routinely each and every year. Yet our multiple is relatively low, and the value of our stock is almost 25% below consensus NAV. I think part of that has to do with our association with a broader, more impaired office industry. And so we have to talk about that from time to time. But I tell investors to stay confident. As long as we're producing the earnings and the results and creating the underlying asset value, they'll be rewarded over the long term.
So do you feel like you have to do a lot of education in terms of explaining the strategy and how it's slightly...
We have to do that usually one time.
Okay.
And if somebody really gets it, then they understand the strategy and they really want to dig in and see how the results are turning out.
And is there a particular project or initiative currently underway at COPT Defense that you are especially excited about in terms of the ability to generate growth or enhance shareholder value?
So I'd have to say no. In 2016, I set forth a strategy. We have stuck to that strategy absolutely rigidly. And that strategy works, and it has been working, and will continue to work. So our focus is just continue to focus on the things that we've been doing, which is investing in areas that support priority national defense missions where funding is assured for the long term. Our external growth is typically fueled by completing low-risk new development in support of the industries that support those missions, and concentrating our capital in locations where tenants need to be and will stay for the long term. And if we continue to do that, the strength of our business will stay as strong as it is now.